The next thing we're going to look at is this, which is the heart. And this uses the Floral Frenzy. So here we have Floral Frenzy. I've used black gesso. I've used, what do we use? Papier King Gold. And also one of the old Imagination Crafts one. This is Sherbet. But it really doesn't matter if you've got waxes in your stash. Use whatever. I just think the gold looks particularly nice. And then with the colour. Lovely jubbly. So, couple of things. So we're going to do a little bit of die cutting. This is just a simple shape. But before we do that die cutting, it's better to paint the whole lot. So, first thing we need to do is we need some black gesso. And I'm going to put, whoa, okay. I put rather a lot of black gesso on that. I don't think I'm going to need it, but that's okay. I'm going to use a sponge and I can always take it off. Black gesso is always a great base for gilding wax, like on black card, but because this is obviously a white thing, stick some black gesso on it and then we can use the wax. Okie dokie. Right. That into off. Right, now I'm going to put this just to one side. I'm going to allow it to start to dry naturally. I might give it heat blast in a minute. While that's drying, I'm going to clean up and we're going to just prep the heart. Okay, so let's put a bit of water on. Paper towel. And I do apologise because the further we go into the live, the worse my hands are getting. So look, see, I do apologise. But there you go, that's messy crafting. So this is I don't know why I just tidied up. That's stupid because I need more black gesso. Not to worry, I'm going to put it on the thing this time. And I'm going to take a brush this time. And you can get these all over the place. I leave this on to begin with. I do get rid of it at the end, but it gives you something to hold on to. But also, I would suggest having an egg box because these egg boxes are perfect for sort of balancing these kinds of things. So I'm just going to take some gesso and I'm going to paint the heart. Now, it doesn't matter if I do these, that's going to be covered with the die cut heart from the cream paste sort of impression. Get right in there. You can hold on to that middle bit as you're not painting it. It does dry quite quickly on the papier mâché because it soaks in, whereas with the cream paste it doesn't dry quite so quickly because it has to more evaporate. Okay, so this is almost dry part of this now. So let's put that into wash. I'm just going to stick that in there for the oh. Okay, I've just noticed I'm just going to use my finger because I put the brush in. Why not? Filthy as it is, let's clean up. Oh, let's clean up. Right. I know that I'm going to do that and think, oh, I should have put some more there. Okie dokie. Right. gesso to one side. So I'm going to bring in my heat gun now. I'm making a mess. I am making a mess, I know. Right, let's go. So we're just going to give this a bit of a blast. Now, I won't talk over the heat gun, I'll tell you in a minute. Sorry, I've gone silent. I just going to do this at the same time before my heat gun decides it doesn't want to do anymore. A word of caution about heat setting on that the cream paste. I have found that if you heat it too much, let's get this one back in. If you heat it too much, it starts to bubble. Now, that's kind of something I think that needs investigating a bit further in terms of can we use that. But obviously, if it's a piece you're just trying to dry, then the answer is you know go very, very carefully, go very gently if you can. Allow things to dry naturally rather than heat setting them. Okay, so this is now ready. It's not completely covered, but I'm not too worried. I'm going to take my my two waxes. Now this wax is a water-based one, and it does have a tendency to dry out. However, as soon as you add some water in, it's all fine and dandy. Papier is more of a solvent base, and it very rarely dries out. So I'm going to use this. I don't know why, because I'm thinking it'll keep my hands clean, but you know, never mind. Right, so let's get some Papier over. Now, you might think, well, why did you bother putting the gesso on if you're just going over the whole lot with wax? But if you look, you can see that by using the sponge and using it lightly, you're getting the black kind of indent, if you like. So you are still seeing some of the black that is behind this. So you can be, you know, as heavy-handed or as light-handed with this as you want. The thing about particularly the Papier wax is that it's designed to then be buffed. So if you leave it for a short while. But what we're going to do is we're going to take this wax, and I'm literally just dabbing some over. I'm going to put a little bit more water in that. Get it moving. So that gold is the predominant sort of colour, if you like, but we're getting this kind of nice kind of pinky colour in amongst it. Okay, we're going to do this. This is the bit that we're going to die cut our hearts from. And we're going to put that to one side, and then we're going to do the same with our heart. Now I've just got a little bit of big glob of what gesso there, so I'm just going to take that off. Now same thing, we're going to take, did I put my Papier away? That was a bit tidy of me, wasn't it? What on earth am I doing being tidy? Right, so I'm taking the King Gold and literally going round again. You're thinking, why are you going pretty much over it? Well, the natural kind of thing with the Papier Mashes, you do get little folds, and so you do get some of the black showing through. But if you want to see the gold properly, you do need to put it onto the darker background. So I'm just going over around. I'm using a sponge just to apply this over. And I'm going to do the same as I did with the first one, which is I'm going to put the pink over the top. Then we'll put this one to one side. We'll buff that one, die cut that, and then we'll come back and buff this one. Okay, put the lid back on that. We'll go back into our ink, which is still nice and soft. Literally just with the sponge, I'm going over bits and pieces just to give it a little bit of a different colour. Okie dokie. So I'm going to put that back in my little egg box just to stand. And then throw it around. Why not? So let's put my waxes away for now. And I'm going to just put my little sponges away. I'm going to get a piece of paper towel. And I am now just going to give this a bit of a buff. Brings up a little bit of a shine. Takes off sort of any excess that's there that you don't want on the top. Okay. So now I am going to find what I did with my little die. Little die. Bear with me a moment to see if I chucked it away. Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Dean, to the rescue. This is the trouble when I start doing messy crafting. Things just get out of hand. So, literally, I am just going to put my die. Literally, what does that even mean? I'm going to put my die where I want to cut out, and this shouldn't need the extra pressure because it is a simple die. So I'm just going to decide where I want that. A little bit of tape and through the machine. So I'm smiling because I can see Dean's hovering the other side. I don't know why. Something to do with, yeah, okay. My bottle's in the way. I knew there was something, I could tell. I wasn't sure if you were going to clean the desk or not. I was waiting. Okie dokie. Right. So there we go. I have cut out my heart. I have already cut out another one, so I don't need to cut the two. So, take this off. So there's my other die cut heart, and I will put that in my box for another day, another project. But that's safe too. Right, so I now have my two hearts, and I am just going to use acrylic glue for this. The heart itself is porous, so I'm not too worried about whether this is going to adhere or not. So this should be fine. So, and the good thing I found about this is it is flexible, so I can push it into the shape that I want it to be, and it will go. It doesn't kind of like if you see there, just push it down into the little groove there. It will go. I think this is one of the big advantages of this. It is its flexibility. It kind of, I know this sounds a bit weird, it kind of reminds me of grunge paper that Tim Holtz brought out many years ago. It's kind of got that kind of flexibility to it. It die cuts, it takes your paints and things, and it will mold itself around things. Okay, so the last thing I've did is I've got the bows. So I just created another little loop. So now I can get rid of this. And it is a bit messy, and this is where you do need your egg thing to hold it, because you're going to use a bit of this. I'm just going to see if I can get a little bit more of that off. Yes. So I am going to put a little glue here I'm going to put my, where's my, that's what I'm looking for. This is like going to be my hanger. Okay. Then I need more glue and the bow this side, and then I'm going to turn it. I'm sorry if you've got a bit of a strange angle looking at it from the top, but it's the only way I can do this without it all just falling apart. So now I can push those together, and then that just now needs to be left to dry. If you can see, it looks similar to this one. Once it's dry, then it's nice and strong, and you can hang your thing from it. Now, the other thing I did do, which I'm not going to do for this one, but I used just a punch, and I punch. In fact, let me just show you how easy it punches. So I used my punch, and I punched just some like decorative little circles out, so it goes straight through, no problem. And in fact, this is too big, the big punch. I need my smaller one, but you get the idea. It will go through your punches as well as your dies. Okay, now is that the wet one? Yes. I'm going to put that one back in there so that it dries. So there's our little heart with the gesso and the wax on our cream paste. So that's project number 2.